Morning guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers. It's Luke here. Thank you for all the views last night. Some really good views on the review that me and Paul done last night. I ain't done one of these for a while. The weather's been too bloody cold. It's a bit warmer today, so I thought I'd do one of these. You know, after the video, obviously we did it straight after the match, so I didn't have a chance to see Moyes' interview. You know, Declan Rice's interview, and obviously all the reaction from the fans. I've obviously read that now. The Moyes interview's very telling again. You know, oh, we weren't ready. We didn't do enough. Who's putting that into the players though, Dave? Honestly, like, listen, I've watched quite a lot of West Ham content, and you know, I love watching it. You know, people made the point of, you know, well, people would argue that that's the best team he could have put out. Maybe you could say Downs for Souček as a difference. And then people probably would have picked that team in general, which, fair enough, maybe you would have to agree with that. But he's not getting anything out of the team. The negative setup that, like, Palace hasn't won away in something like 8 months, 7-8 months, I think it was. And they hadn't scored for, I think, 4 games away. It's just not good enough. They're not running anymore. They're not... We've become a light touch again. We're back to old West Ham, that team that, oh, you need a win, West Ham's in town, and it's just not good. It's not good. One of the biggest things for me out of the interview with Moyes was the Saïd Benrahma comment. He says something along the lines of, yeah, he scored a good goal, but what else did he do? He's ineffective. What is this saying to Benrahma? You know, I thought Benny had a really, really good game when he was trying to do something, and he has been our best player this year. Rightly so, he's frustrated. Rightly so, them boos rung around that stadium yesterday when he was taken off. I don't get Moyes thinking. He will openly slate him, but someone like Bowen, who's been absolutely shocking this season, and then someone like Souček, another one, shocking, absolutely shocking this season. Won't drop him. I was absolutely in shock when he did take him off yesterday. It was like, oh my God, Dave, what's going on here? Have you actually seen that this guy can't play football? And it's like he will consistently go at Benrahma and use any excuse to get rid of him when he's, like I say, been one of our best players. And he's getting bitey. He's getting very bitey in press conferences. He's getting bitey at post-match interviews as well. And, you know, he's starting to show that he's under pressure. And listen, we said it in the podcast yesterday, and I've seen, you know, other channels say it as well. It's amazing that we're through in the Conference League. Please do not think I take that for granted. I don't. I think it's amazing. I love it. But let's look at that opposition. No disrespect, that opposition, that most of the opposition we've come against is probably like mid to decent level championship teams. Probably a lot of championship teams could do a job on some of them teams we've played. It's not good enough in the league. Like I say, what was it? Is it something like 5 wins in 19? Since the Lyon game, which, you know, we played brilliant. It's just been shocking, and the league form is awful. It's awful. It's relegation form. We are sleepwalking. I keep using that phrase, but it's true. We are sleepwalking into a relegation battle. If we lose to Leicester on Saturday, the World Cup break comes in, and we could quite easily be in there. We could be in that bottom 3. It's not good. It is not good at all. Like I say, I'm very much Moyes out. I put a tweet out this morning saying, you know, I've calmed down a little bit, and that's good. I'm thinking a little bit more clearly, not on just reactive anger, and I'm still Moyes out. People will ask, and I put it in my tweet this morning. I've seen a few West Ham videos. Yeah, but who'd you bring in? Who'd you bring in? That's not an excuse to not sack someone, though. It's not an excuse. Like, what? Well, we just stick with him because we don't know who it is. It's not my job to do that. It's not your job, but it's not us as fans' job to find that new manager. That's, you know, Rob Newman's job, David Sullivan, Kretinsky's job. As soon as things started to go a little bit wrong, you should be sanding out new managers. You should all the time. You should be, you know, as you sand out players, You should always have managers just lined up just in case things do go wrong. There are managers out there. You know, Poch, would he come? I don't know. Would Tuchel come? Probably not. You know, so a lot of the names when I put the tweet out were saying Thomas Frank. There's a guy that begins with G that I've completely forgotten. I do apologise. Would you be able to get someone like Thomas Frank out of Brentford? Maybe. You don't want to be in a situation though where when we sack him, we have no choice but to go for Sean Dyche as a firefighter. And you know, again, that's completely just, you know, going back on what he is. Someone like Dyche, he's not going to get the best out of a Paqueta. He's not going to get the best out of Scamacca. You know, there was a few comments which I thought were a bit harsh on the video that we did yesterday, saying about Paqueta, what a waste of money, and was awful. Yeah, he weren't great yesterday. Remember, he has come back from injury, but he was just starting to fit. He's still got an assist though, and that's what I will say. He's still got an assist. So with Paqueta, like I say, well, what can you expect? What can you expect out of him when Moyes is playing this negative setup? And you know, people are saying, oh, there's quite an attacking lineup. It's Paqueta, it's Bowen, it's Benrahma. Yeah, but they're told not to attack. They're told to sit behind the ball. Let Palace have the ball. Let Palace have the ball at home. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're meant to be a team that go at... It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I keep saying Newcastle. I know I keep saying Newcastle. It's only because, like I say, I work with the Newcastle guy. We talk a lot of football. You know, I quite like Newcastle as a team, and he's comes from a big family of West Ham fans. So he knows West Ham well, and I know Newcastle quite well. You look at the way Newcastle are playing. No fear, hunger, desire. That's what we had a couple of years ago. And they've got new players. No one can sit there and keep using that bedding in new players thing. They had Isaac, you know, they had Bruno Guimaraes. He's getting the best out of people like Joe Linton, who weren't doing anything a couple of years ago. Miguel Almiron, he's arguably the best player in the Premier League at the moment. It's that coachability, it's in-game management. Moyes hasn't got in-game management. He hasn't. I think, you know, when he first come, and you know, we were playing fairly good football. We had that counter-attack, and it was something new because we hadn't played like that before for a few years. Now it's been found out we lack serious pace. We cannot pass a football. We can't. We panic. It's all very panicky and not calm enough. And again, that's down to coaching. Yes, listen, we've lost some big characters. We lost Noble, we lost Pearce, we lost Irvine. These probably are massive things. But then again, that's down to Moyes to have a transition. He would have known about those guys were going to go. And he's creating that transition so these sort of situations don't happen. I think if he loses to Leicester, as much as they're not usually sacking people, Sullivan, I think they will be seriously considering it. I think it will be one of those Clarence and Hugh things where it says, oh, they're having an important meeting on the Monday. Moyes has got 2 games after the World Cup. Well, let's look at it. You've got Blackburn, okay? Hungry, desirable, second in the Championship. Player that we've been linked with Ben Breton Diaz, written all over the stars that is for him to score the winning goal against us. Then you got Leicester, who have just sort of got back to their best. Maddison playing really good. Tillemans in that midfield. They will probably do us. And then, like I say, you've got the World Cup break. Straight away after that, you've got Arsenal. You ain't beating Arsenal. And then, like I say, a couple of games, you're in a transfer window. And then you have to ask yourself, do you want Moyes to be having that money and buying players, which he probably will take till March to play? I don't know. Where, you know, you go and bring a new manager in, potentially, you know, in that little gap of the World Cup. He has time with a few of the players that haven't gone to the World Cup. You know, and you give him the money to, you know, give us a go. Some of you will argue, and again, I'm with you. With, you know, should Moyes be given to the end of the season, but like what Allardyce was given, you know, just to, you know, he has got us through in Europe. He has done good things. It's a hard one, but I think he has to go. I do. I've had enough. I've totally had enough of it now. Yeah, and Rice, you know, just becomes more and more of a frustrated figure. He's definitely off. He's gone in the summer, and I can't blame the guy. And that's the thing. I can't blame him. But, you know, I think he would want nothing more than to succeed and to see West Ham succeed, and for him to be able to stay at West Ham. But it's not happening. It's not happening. This David Moyes does not know how to get the best out of teams. The reason he's so good at the, you know, that sort of firefighter in that mid-level jobs is because, you know, he sets up the way he does. Yes, he's brilliant for, you know, to get you out of danger and stabilise you, and he has stabilised us wonderfully. But for the ambitions we've got, and, you know, from where we have been for the last 2 years, he don't know how to do good players. He don't know how to manage big players, and he ain't getting it right at the minute. Yeah, so for me, guys, I'm Moyes Out. I've rambled for 10 minutes. Let me know what you think. You're probably going to either slate me or like this video. Until next time, guys, take it easy. Keep believing if you can. Let's go.